My reflection has always been a little off. It's like if you paused a film reel and then played it again. My image would look normal for a second, but then flicker back into this disturbing distortion of myself. Da-da-da! I was getting dressed in the morning and caught my reflection out of the corner of my eye. Da! The first thing I noticed was that my teeth were darker than they should have been, almost black. But the most disturbing thing was my eyes. It got so bad that I couldn't go anywhere without seeing its mocking smile, sometimes catching me in the act of running away from it. When I turned around, I'd find it standing right behind me, eyes gleaming with malicious delight. It's not because they didn't love me, but because they couldn't hear me. As it dragged me toward its grinning mouth, I woke up in my own bed, gasping for breath. It would watch me from the corner of the room as I cowered on the floor, unable to do anything. It never spoke, but I could feel its heavy, malicious thoughts pressing against my mind like a physical force. Whenever I tried to block them out, to focus on my own thoughts, the ghost would slam my head against the wall. Panting heavily, I went to the mirror and stared at my reflection. What had happened? Was the ghost gone? I don't know how long I stood there, but eventually I stopped seeing my reflection. In its place was an empty mirror. After that, I was too scared to try and escape anymore. Turning around, I saw the ghost standing in the doorway. It was solid, real, and it was smiling, but it wasn't my face. We're the same, you and I. I am you. You are me. There is no difference. It was something twisted and grotesque, like a funhouse mirror version of myself. We were two sides of the same coin, light and dark, good and evil. And in that realization, I found my power. I screamed and fell backwards. As it closed in, I could see the darkness swirling inside its eyes, the emptiness of its soul. But then, something strange happened. The ghost flickered. For a moment, I could see my own face superimposed over the monster, and in that brief instant, I understood. I looked into its eyes and felt something snap inside of me. I can still feel its presence watching me from the shadows, waiting for me to slip up. And sometimes at night, I swear I hear its laughter echoing through the halls. Relief washed over me as I realized that I had one. Or had I? If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to share for more terrifying tales. Thanks for watching, but I will not let it win. I will not let the ghost take over. Because deep down, I know that I am stronger than the darkness. I know that I have the potential for great things, but I also know that the darkness is always there, waiting for me to falter. It's a constant battle between light and dark, and I must remain vigilant. I struggled to get up and ran inside. With a final surge of strength, I pushed my hands forward. The ghost screamed and shrank back, its form flickering wildly. Wait, it reached out towards me, clawing, and then it was gone, disappearing into the mirror. The ghost followed me, but now it was transparent. I may have defeated the ghost in the mirror, but the war between us is far from over. I could see right through it. And then I realized that it wasn't following me. It was trying to get back in the house. I don't know what it was, some kind of switch, but suddenly the ghost lunged at me, its eyes blazing with hatred. It tore at my flesh with its fingernails, dragging me closer and closer to the mirror. I could feel my skin tearing apart as I was pulled through the glass. I just hid in my room waiting for the inevitable. I wasn't making a sound. My screams were silent, as if the ghost was muffling my cries. One time I managed to get away from the ghost and stumbled into my parents' room. They were lying in their bed asleep, except there was no bed between us. There was only empty space where the bed should have been. Standing where my parents should have been was the ghost. There were huge, soulless pools of nothing staring back at me. I could see my own terror reflected back at me. It was when I was 17 that I became aware of it. I went to school that day, but all I could think about were those eyes. That night when I looked in the mirror, the eyes were still there. But now they seemed to be smiling, or at least something was pulling up the corners of my mouth. Over the next few weeks, the smile got bigger and bigger. At first, it was only when I looked directly at my reflection, but then it started appearing even when I looked away. So that's how I knew it wasn't me smiling. It was the ghost in the mirror. At first, the ghost only appeared when I looked into mirrors or glass windows, but eventually it started following me around the house. When it first appeared, I tried to fight the ghost, but it was no use. It was always stronger than me. If I ran into another room, it would beat me there. If I tried to hide under the bed or in the closet, it would drag me out and toss me around like a rag doll. Sometimes I would wake up in the middle of the night and feel myself being lifted off the bed, hovering above my own body as I watched helplessly. Then I would scream.
Ow.
My parents never came to check on me. It reached out a hand towards me, and I could feel its coldness through the palm of my hand. There were days when the ghost wouldn't leave me alone. One time the ghost picked me up and brought me to the mirror, but instead of finding myself inside the mirror, I was thrust into the outside world, lying on the sidewalk in front of our house. As I watched, the ghost drifted through the window and disappeared. Then I heard footsteps behind me. "Why did you let me win?" it asked. Its voice sounded like nails on a chalkboard. "You're supposed to be the ghost." "You're the one who made me," I said. The ghost threw its head back and laughed, a sound like shattering glass. With that, it lunged at me, eyes blazing with hate. The ghost wasn't just a part of me. I was a part of it. The ghost roared in anger as I raised my hands. It recoiled as if burned. I collapsed onto the floor, trembling. As I looked into the mirror, I saw my own face staring back at me, pale and drawn, but it was me. The ghost may be gone, but the damage it left behind remains. Now that I have defeated the ghost, I am filled with a new purpose, a determination to make the most of my life. If I let the darkness take over, then the ghost will return, and I will lose myself once again. As I write this story down, I can feel the darkness rising within me, whispering to me, tempting me to give in to my darker impulses. I just hope that I'm strong enough to keep it at bay forever.